I am live. All right. Happy Saturday. If you are joining me live, go ahead and let me know that you're here. Say hi. If you end up catching on the replay, make sure you say replay. I want to know that too. Guys, I'm so pumped about talking about this topic. Today we're going to talk detox. Okay, so we're going to talk detox. I'm like, good. I'm live. Okay, awesome. I got it now. Um, so hi. Make sure also if you haven't connected your social media to StreamYard, make sure that you are putting your name in the comments too, because I don't see names unless you have given StreamYard that permission. So let me know who this is. I'd love to be able to, rather than just Facebook user, I'd love to know who it is that I'm talking with. I'm excited for this, but I'm going to preface this. This can be a very deep, intense topic, and it could go very many ways. My focus today is going to be to discuss how and why our bodies need detoxification. So how they detox, why they detox, and then I'm going to talk about ways that we can support detox because it is a natural product. It is a natural product. Okay, I see Sarah, I see Jen. Awesome. So it is a natural process that happens in our bodies. However, there are many factors that impede the detoxification process. And when we impede detoxification, we have backup. And the best way that I can think about that I thought about this as I was working out this morning. If you think about your drains, right? And I thought about this because one of my husband's, it's not going to get center. It's fine. One of my husband's biggest pet peeves is the hair in our drains, right? And good morning, Darren. The little, one strand of hair going down at a time doesn't seem like it's doing much, right? But over time, the more hair that goes down the drain, the worse the buildup and the backup gets. And it gets clogged and it gets gross. And if you've ever had to pull out he calls it the the woodland creature from the tube. Okay. That is a great example of gradual buildup over time and it needing to detox. Okay. Like you need to detox your tubes, right? So that's basically similar to what we're going to talk about today. I am going to put my disclaimer out there real quick. I am, yeah, get on that collagen if you have the woodland creature from the tube. I love it. Okay, wait. I'm going to show this one. Okay, so this is from Sarah. So if you have that woodland creature from the tube, we'll get you the information on our liquid collagen because you might need that depending on how quickly your tubes clog up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hide that one. All right, that's great. Oh my gosh, that made me giggle this morning. So you do see doctor on my screen. I do have my doctorate in physical therapy. I'm a board certified specialist in neurologic rehabilitation. I no longer practice in the clinic. This is just in case you're watching me for the first time. I no longer practice in the clinic. I do homeschool and homestead my children. Homeschool my children. We are building a homestead. All of that is due to a number of reasons, but because of my background, because of my passion for increasing the health education to those wherever I can reach you and what it can do in order to improve your quality of life, I am here educating. That is what I want to do. I want to plant a seed. I want to give you some information. I want to make you think a new thought. I want to help you on your way. If you are someone who has been researching things on your own, I want to help you along that way. I want to give you the resources you need to keep doing that research. I want to encourage you. And I'm going to give you some ideas. I'm going to talk today about some ways that we can, some products and some ingredients and those kinds of things. So what I am going to do, I hadn't saved this. So tell me real quick, when you think detox, what comes to mind? I want to know when you think detox. Thanks, Darren. I love this. All right. So when you think detox, what comes to mind? That's what I'm going to start with. And I hadn't saved my my PowerPoint, so I'm going to save that real quick. Clean out your pipes. Absolutely. Okay. Liver. Okay. Yep. What else? I got liver. I've got clean out your pipes. What else do you think of when you think detox? Getting rid of toxins from your cells. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh. All right. So those are all great things. So that's good. I want to get an idea of where we all are in our mindset of detoxification. So cleaning your system of the bad. Absolutely. When a lot of times when you hear the word detox, you're thinking like these like crazy cleanses, right? Where you're going to ingest all this stuff and it's going to like clean it all. Lymph. Yes, lymph is a big one. So I'm going to show some of these real quick. So we've got clean out your pipes. We have liver. These are all in regards to detox. Getting rid of toxins from your cells. Lymph. Cleaning your system of the bad. All of these are detox. All of these are detox. So there is a difference between like a detox, like a deep detox is I guess what you would call it, where you're going to get symptoms and you're going to have, because you're flushing all the bad out, you're going to feel it all right away. And then there is another, you can also daily detox. Simple as avoiding toxins and as up to changing things in your diet so that you are detoxing on the regular. So we are going to talk today about detoxification. All right. Please continue to make comments. I'm going to try and keep up with questions and everything on the side as we're talking. I am still drinking my coffee this morning, so cheers to that. Okay. So I'm going to leave this slide up there. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I want you to read through the slide and I want you to just in your head, answer yes or no. And then I want you to comment how many yeses you have. That's what we're going to do. So I'm giving you 2 minutes. Read through here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the slide real big, make it completely easy for you to see it. I may only give you 1 minute. How fast can you read? And then I want you to comment how many yeses did you have? Okay, about 6 yes. I got one answer so far. There's at least 8 of you on here watching with me, so I'm going to give you a few more, another 30 seconds or so. Give me an answer. How many yeses? I've got 10. 6. Okay, so we got 6, 10, 6, 9, 2. Sarah, you're a rock star. That's great. Okay, so if you answered yes to 5 or more, you may be in need of some assistance to your detoxification system. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted. There we go. Okay, so if you answered yes to 5 or more of those, you may need a boost, help to your detoxification system. Okay, so here are some key facts about detoxification. The processes of detoxification defend our body against exposure to toxins, both from our external as well as internal. So when we metabolize products inside of our body, it can actually create toxins, and our detoxification system needs to be working appropriately in order to rid our bodies of that and only keep the good. It is genetically controlled and highly, highly individualized. And we're going to talk about some examples of this. The level of toxicity is a result of our total load. So what are you exposed to? Both environmentally, both by your intestines, both by like metabolites. What are you eating? I did a live last night with Sarah about environmental exposure and lifestyle. So many of those things. How often are you using your phone? That's a form of, toxins, is that EMF. So the most common symptoms of toxicity, you're going to see both in your nervous system and within your immune system, and both of those being dysfunctional. Okay, so nervous system can be brain health, nervous system can be extremities, tingling and symptoms such as that. Nervous system can be mood regulation. Immune system can be your susceptibility to viruses and viral load and those kinds of things. Children and pregnant women have been found to be particularly susceptible to toxic exposures, and a chronic exposure to heavy metals, lead, mercury, cadmium, in the environment has been identified as a significant contributor to toxicity symptoms. However, to improve the function of your detoxification systems, you must combine exposure, reducing your exposure, as well as your diet, your nutrients. What are you putting into your body to help support those systems? Okay. All organisms will develop ways to protect themselves from toxic substances. Okay. A little bit of like history behind this. In 1955, Dr. Bernard Brodie discovered what is now called an enzyme super system. If you've ever heard me talk on enzymes, here's why, guys. Enzymes are so incredibly important to the function, the basic functioning of our body. Okay. This super system is composed of more than 50 different kinds of enzymes, each with its own gene. And it's now called the cytochrome P450 system, or CYP450. Okay. A little bit later, Jim and Betty Miller, working at the University of Wisconsin, discovered that this is principally located in our liver. So I think it was Sarah who said detox equals liver. Yes, partially. Okay. CYP450 detoxifies foreign substances and metabolizes toxic bacteria. So if you have symptoms such as like the jitters, headaches, seemingly random sweating, like you're just sweating for no reason, your heart seems like it's fluttering, all of these may be indicative of a backup or an overload of this detoxification system within the body. There's an imbalance somewhere. Okay. When something externally or internally alters the structure of a molecule, changes the amount of a substance, throws a wrench in this process, it can compromise the entire body's ability to detoxify, which then leads to disrupted homeostasis. You disrupt detox, you disrupt the whole body. Okay. Culprits are medications, environmental, and internal. All right. So those are the three main culprits of how we disrupt our detoxification system. We're going to talk about, okay, who has heard of the phrase a canary in a coal mine? What this means, and I'll see if anyone answers too, but miners would take canaries down into the mines because they were highly susceptible to carbon monoxide. And so when they went down, if the birds started to show signs of being ill, they would detect it much faster than a human would, right? So they would not go into the mines without a canary because they didn't want to expose themselves to something that can be as lethal as that. So canary in a coal mine, early warning system, okay? An example of this is how our bodies detox caffeine. So who here answered yes to having a sensitivity to either caffeine or a food or medication? Did anyone answer yes to those? Just raise your hand. You can just give me an emoji. You answered yes to either sensitivity to food, alcohol, we'll throw alcohol in there, food, alcohol, caffeine, or medication. Each of us is going to detoxify those things differently. the person who drinks a cup of coffee and has the jitters from it is your canary in the coal mine. The person who can drink a pot of coffee and still go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, that person has a backup in their detoxification system and there's something dysfunctional. Okay. Same thing when it comes to alcohol. Those that drink a glass of wine and start to feel the effects of that alcohol within a glass, or let's say one beer, that's your canary in the coal mine. Those that drink it and don't feel it, you continue to do so. And those are typically the people who the next day have the worst hangovers, right? Because there was a backup. And now that backup is going to lead to additional symptoms. Okay. The genetic differences in our body's ability to detoxify substances can be as different as 1,000-fold differences, meaning that I may detox at 1,000-fold higher than someone else because of our genes. Okay. And so this has led to a study called pharmacogenomics. We're not going to get into that. Okay. But I do want you to understand, because we talked about medications being a source of disruption in the detoxification process. So the most common adverse drug reaction in the United States is to NSAIDs, especially or specifically acetaminophen. This is the #1 source of ER visits due to poisoning over any other cause. And what happens is that there is something needs to be created called an intermediary in order to detox acetaminophen. That then needs to be coupled to glutathione. If you are deficient in glutathione, okay, then you are not going to be able to detox acetaminophen. I just put in here ways to support glutathione production and foods that you can eat. So we're going to talk more about the processes, but these are just things to think about to give you an idea of what's going on inside your body. Most toxic substances, okay, caffeine can be toxic. Alcohol can be toxic. An over-the-counter medication can be toxic when it builds up in the body. Okay. The toxic substances behave like fats. So they stick to the body's fatty regions instead of getting washed out and flushed away by the blood, which is mostly made of water. So the first step is that these fat-like toxins need to be converted into a non-toxin. And this is done by that super system, okay, by that P450 enzyme system. This creates what's called an intermediary. Then substances found in the liver add a tail. So think of, I don't have it. So this is your intermediary. The liver is going to add this fun little tail, chemical tail. Okay. And this creates a substance. Okay. Substance that can be transported to the blood, to the urine, to the stool, and eventually excreted from the body. Okay. So depending on the availability of these substances from the liver being added to the intermediary will impact how we detoxify. You don't have enough nutrients, the toxic substances build up, you get a hangover. Okay, so I did put in here, I'll make this big for 1 minute for you. I did put in here, as I was going through the research of this, different substances that can be used to support alcohol detoxification. So the next time that you're going out for night on the town, if you want to support that alcohol detoxification, things like sesame, magnesium, vitamin B1, vitamin C, CoQ10, and N-acetylcysteine, all of those will help you, will help your body. Can needing more pain medication be an example of the canary in the mine? Yes. So if you are not, okay, sorry, I'm going to put this up here. So anyways, let me finish this. Support of the squirrel. Okay, supportive alcohol detoxification. So these substances will help your body detox the alcohol from the liver better. Okay, but I am gonna let me put this up here. Can needing more pain medication be an example of the canary in the mine? Yes, and the reason for that is that the medication coming from the getting into the body is not being, you're not decomposing it. You're not getting it to where it needs to be. And so as you give your body more, it will build up, but then you also have to think about your body getting rid of it. So, if the dosing for something is take 1 every 6 hours, and you're finding that you need 2 to 3 every 4 hours or something along those lines, that is an example of the body's detoxification system not working the way that it should. And then I could get more into that too, in regards to how your body metabolizes medications. I think I have a little bit on here about it, but that also is genetically specific too. So low level exposure, this is more canaries in the mind. So in the 1980s, a doctor by the name of Rosemary Waring found that animals exposed to low levels of pesticides and other toxic chemicals started to show increased incidence of nervous system diseases, such as Parkinsonian-like, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, things like that. She found the same effect in paint and dye workers, printers, plastic workers, leather production. All exposure was below what would have been traditionally considered toxic. Okay. Then in the late 1970s, or prior to this in the late 1970s, there had been a group of US men from the Bay Area of Northern California. They all presented with Parkinson-like symptoms, and the only common denominator between all of them were that they were all marijuana users. At that time in the US, there was an effort to reduce marijuana trafficking from Mexico, and they were doing it by spraying the marijuana fields with this compound called paraquat. Okay. Paraquat, when heated, becomes a neurotoxin. Well, if these men were smoking their marijuana, they were heating what had been sprayed on the marijuana and thus ingesting through the smoke the neurotoxin. There has been similar research in the use of ecstasy and cocaine. Obviously, these are all high-level toxins. Ecstasy and cocaine linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and ALS. So with this, what we are finding is paraquat being it would have been a small amount, considered, I wouldn't say that it's considered non-toxic, knew to be a toxin. But if these plants were getting to us and then being used, that could be what was then causing these symptoms. So molecular toxicology is another another grouping of research being done, which recognizes the need to look for different types of toxicity when looking at low-level exposures. Okay, so those are all, that everything that we've just talked about is all environmental. Those external, what's happening when we are exposed to something external and then our body has to do something with it. The other form of toxins is endotoxins. And so if we are altering our gut bacteria, and if you listen to me speak before, you know that I'm big on gut health. If through lifestyle, diet, medications, alcohol, stress, all the things that can alter our gut, I'm gonna pull up this comment in a second too. They can alter your gut health. This can then affect what is being broken down and pushed out into your blood. Okay. The gut itself actually has its own detoxification system separate from the CYP450 that's located in the cells of the intestinal lining. And we have an entire systemic process called assimilation and elimination. So our detox system is connected to how we extract and eliminate through the gut all of our nutrients as well as our toxins. And so connected, it's not separate, it's all interrelated. Okay. Someone had said my uncle is showing signs of Parkinson's from Agent Orange from Vietnam. Yeah, absolutely. And the research is going to continue to come out on all of those low level exposures. So when we think about this, when we think about external environmental exposures and what we need to do to reduce that, okay, buying organic foods, limiting the chemicals being used in our home. What are you putting on your skin? Using more natural, organic, really looking at the ingredients of what you're ingesting as far as your oral care. All of those things matter significantly. I'm going to make this bigger again. So Detox diet recommendation. So if you're thinking about what can I do in regards to my food, okay, you want a high intake of vegetables, fruits, beans, and whole grains. You want moderate intake of meat, eggs, fish, and dairy, and very low, and this shouldn't be very surprising, processed foods, fats, and sugars. Now, here's the thing. Fats is like those hydrogenated, the not good fats, okay? You need the healthy fats for the absorption of many vitamins that are fat soluble. So there's a caveat there. The other thing you need to be aware of is the sourcing of all of this. And I'm not going to go into that, but where is it being sourced from? We are coming up on spring. We are coming up on farmer markets. Get yourself to your local farmers market and buy local. Many times what is being sold in those local farmers market has much less chance of having any of the toxic substances or at the same level exposed to them as those that are sold on the larger scale. Okay. Another thing you can do is potassium citrate in water after each meal specifically helps to improve the body's acid alkaline balance. It's a type of salt. Okay. And then certain phytochemicals will support genetic expression that regulates detoxification. So this is going to support your genome. Okay. Green tea, turmeric, soy, cruciferous vegetables, red grapes and Spanish peanuts. Specifically, what's in those that is supportive is the resveratrol, watercress and pomegranate, and then hops. Okay. So a mineral detox. Toxic minerals can be detoxified. Okay. And they're detoxified through what are called metallothioneins. Big word. Okay. But these are specifically a type of protein high in sulfur containing amino acid cysteine. Okay, and this is, I'm going to go into something, which is why I'm talking about this. So these proteins bind minerals, they chelate. Chelate. That should ring a bell with many people, okay, if you've listened to me talk before. Chelate. They chelate minerals and conduct the exit of them, the toxic ones. So we like chelated minerals that are good for our body because they are wrapped in an amino acid and our body can break them down. We also want to support the chelation of toxic minerals so that they are excreted from our body. Okay. These will claw mercury, lead, and cadmium, which is your bad heavy metals. Okay. Foods that have these types of proteins in them are eggs, onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, oats, barley, and soy. So naturally occurring, again, sourcing is important, okay? Before I get into specific other ways of natural detox, I did want to touch on, and because someone specifically asked about this, I did want to touch on our lymphatic system. So far we've talked about the enzyme system in our body that helps to pull things out. We've talked about the fact that our gut has its own detoxification. So what you're doing to your gut is super important because they work together. Okay. And then we also have our lymphatic system. So an overview, you have lymph vessels, which are almost seemingly like invisible. Okay. You can't really see the lymph vessels. They converge into lymph nodes. So these are collections of lymphocytes and their precursors. They're held together by connective tissues. And then you have the lymph channels. All lymph passes through several nodes prior to getting into our veins, our blood circulation. Okay. The primary function of our lymphatic system is to take excess tissue fluid and between our tissues and filter it. Okay. So it wants to collect what's been filtered, get it to where it needs to go, or help excrete it from the body. Okay. And there are filtration systems within all of our lymph nodes that will help to neutralize bacteria and bad toxins. Okay. Think of it like a sweeper. So if you've ever has anyone ever had a lymphatic massage? It's really not massage because you're encouraging the sweeping motion of your lymph system. So it's a very kind of almost gentle encouragement to get the lymph flowing the way that it's supposed to. It facilitates fluid movement. It helps to maintain homeostasis. In normal conditions, our lymph system is supposed to maintain a healthy blood volume and eliminate the bad. So keep our blood flowing, get rid of the bad stuff, and it all flows through each other. Important to note, though, with our lymph system is that there's no central pump. So like our blood, our heart is our pump, right? We want to keep our heart functioning well. Our lymph is pumped through what surrounds it. So smooth muscles, there are smooth muscles in the lymph system, and the lymph collectors that will pump our muscle tissue. So like getting your workout in. I got mine in this morning. Who moved this morning? Show it. Raise your hand. Tell me if you moved already this morning. If you haven't, tell me that you're going to plan on moving today. Daily body movement is going to help your lymph system function because it's going to help push and keep the pump working. Your arteries and veins of themselves, healthy blood circulation, a healthy circulatory system is going to help keep and maintain a healthy lymph system. And then I love this one because everyone can do it. Diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, I'm going to show you this real quick. You want to put your hand on your belly, hand on your chest, and just breathe take a couple breaths. Notice which one moves more. If your top hand is moving more than your bottom hand, you are chest breathing. If your bottom hand is moving more, good. You are already in the mindset of diaphragmatic breathing. If you are found to be a chest breather, your belly should move out on your inhale, in on your exhale. And you should I encourage 2 to 3 minutes of that multiple times a day, especially if you are a chest breather. Getting into the habit of diaphragmatic breathing is going to change your physiological systems. All right. Okay. Overall, after all that, what can you do to support detoxification? Limit alcohol, quality of sleep, drink water, reduce intake of sugar and processed food, move your body, sulfur-rich foods. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. Natural body care, regular massages help to detoxify the body because it stimulates the muscles, it stimulates the blood vessels, it gets everything moving. And then sauna and infrared. And the reason for this is that sweating that is going to help to bring toxins out. It's a whole system. It's stimulating the internal systems. Okay. Does anyone know what this is? So this is, I'm gonna be wrapping it up here in just a, but does anyone know what this is? I'm gonna give you 20 seconds. So I love to say this. This is Shilajit. Looks like charcoal. Okay, good guesses. Good guesses. This is Shilajit. Okay. Has anyone heard of Shilajit? I think I'm saying it correctly. I love to say it. It's so fun. Has anyone heard of Shilajit? I'm probably adding like an extra. Okay. This is something that has been used for more than 3,000 years. It's considered, you'll find it in the Ayurvedic Sanskrit text as an important rasayana food. Rasayana means that it rejuvenates and revitalizes. Its name itself, yes. Its name itself translates to the conqueror of mountains and destroyer of weakness. It's such a powerful word. Okay. This compound is found in high mountains. It is a tar-like substance that is due to the decomposition of plant matter. Okay. It contains mostly humic substances, including fulvic acid, and up to 60 to 80% of its nutraceuticals. So its benefit to our its nutritional value. Okay. Here it is. It's a result of a long process to break down plant matter. So it's a plant matter, but it does look like tar. High mountain ranges such as the Himalayas. Okay. This specific compound helps to increase dopamine secretion in the brain, reduce anxiety and stress, and has a calming effect on the body because of its high levels of good minerals, potassium, magnesium. Okay. The big thing with Shilajit is its high potency of humic fulvic acids. Okay. These are considered nature's most powerful electrolytes. Who who's listening that does an electrolyte drink or adds trace minerals to your water or does electrolyte powders? I know we've been doing electrolyte, powder mixes in our water. If you're someone who fasts, you likely are doing some type of electrolyte drinks. Would you recommend thymic pumping? Structure, yeah. Darren, I haven't heard of thymic thumping. That's something I'm going to have to, I haven't heard of that. When I feel dehydrated. So once you are feeling the dehydrated, you are actually more depleted and probably need a higher amount than you do if you were doing it on a regular basis. So for example, we have a Berkey water filter, which literally filters out everything, chlorine, fluoride, all of it. But you need that electrolyte balance for the functioning of your enzymatic system. Without electrolytes, without the good minerals, your enzyme functioning is deficient. So having daily electrolyte balance is super important. And I'm do not go running for your Powerade and Gatorade. I'm talking natural electrolyte. So humic and fulvic acid, high composition in Shilajit, nature's most powerful electrolytes. These compounds are great for cellular regeneration. It's a natural pre and probiotic, gut health, microbiome. Humic and fulvic, humic is always present with fulvic. They can't be separated, okay? These are binders that carry toxins out of the body. Remember, we talked about those proteins, that amino acid, the cysteine. These, this humic fulvic acid will bind to those toxins and chelate them out of the body, just like those proteins do. And it has been found, fulvic acid has been found to protect from EMF. Okay. So in addition to Shilajit, another great natural detox and body support is mushrooms. Okay. Now there are specific, I'm not talking the mushrooms, the psychedelic mushrooms. I'm talking mushrooms. Okay. So we have turkey tail mushroom, which will feed the healthy microbiome. The healthier and more in balance, the better your gut skin connection and everything else functions. You have tremella mushroom, which has also been found to have skin enhancing properties. Okay. Chaga, turkey tail, and oyster mushroom are known for their immunity support benefits. Maitake mushroom is one of nature's greatest sources of beta glucans. If you've ever heard of that, this is a complex natural sugar. Some of the most potent and natural immune supporting chemicals come from the beta glucans. Okay. So why am I talking about mushrooms and Shilajit? And the last one that I didn't even get to is ashwagandha, because there is an amazing combination of all of these substances, some of nature's most powerful, potent, healthiest ways to naturally, on the daily, support the detoxification of your body through a drink. It is the Shilajit has a patent on how it is extracted. The mushrooms are patented and how they are extracted, like the how you get the goodness. It's specifically, they have to be grown fully. It's to get the full medicinal benefit of them, the combination of them. So I'm just going to quickly pull up. Oh, I don't have. Okay. So the name of this, whoopsie. The name of this is called Replenish. And I want you all to know that this is something that is going to help. It has adaptogenic. So it's going to calm the nervous system. It's going to remove the heavy metals. It's going to clear the body. It's going to support the enzymatic function. It's going to do all the things. And it's something you can drink on the daily. You can actually drink up to 2 cups of it every single day. Shilajit in itself, if you were to go look it up, Shilajit products will be anywhere from $80, $90, $100+ on their own. Each of those different mushrooms that I talked about, there's 7 different mushrooms, each of them on their own or in combination, you might find them in mixes. Again, expensive on their own. Ashwagandha on its own can be drinking as a way of like getting into a good meditative state, right? Help you get into a meditative state before you go to do your yoga, your Reiki, or anything like that. Again, find it on its own. When you combine the power of these into a single product, just as I have talked about in the intentional combination of powerful herbs and adaptogens and nootropics and all of the things, you have something that will help to improve every single person's health with 1 cup a day. It can make an impact on everyone. Okay. So I am so happy that you all were here. How do you get that potassium? The one that, so you can, I would Google it because you're going to find different ones. I'm trying to think. The one we use a powder that has that as a component of it. I don't know that it has it at the 1,000 milligram level. You know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. Yeah. So real quick, if you look it up, you can find it. Again, just do your research as far as sourcing. Make sure it's coming from a natural source. Make sure, look at the quality. I'm always big on that. I can also no salt alternative. There we go. Oh, okay. So here we go. Answer to how do you get that potassium? The no salt. That's what I thought it was. The no salt alternative. I have not personally done that. Like, I have not personally done the 1,000 milligrams of potassium citrate post meal. But in my research, that was something that had come up. So I hope that you all found this helpful. I hope that, it planted a seed. It gave you a new thought, gives you a new way of looking at things. If there are more questions, please go ahead and throw them in the comments. I will be sure to come back and answer those. And I hope that everyone, it's supposed to rain all weekend here. It already started, but I hope you all have a beautiful and blessed weekend. And I cannot wait for this Replenish product to get into the hands of as many people as possible in order to help our bodies and reduce our toxins, our external, our internal, and support just natural body health. Have a wonderful day.